Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and I know, this should have been reviewed last year, not February, not months after it was released. Absolutely bonkers, but I'll be honest with you, I completely messed up on my pre-order with this. I'm not sure what happened. All of a sudden, issue 3 was being released, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm sure I pre-ordered issue 1 and 2 to review. Apparently, I clicked on the subscribe, and by then it was issue 3, and it was only 3 issues. So, yeah, I'm a wee behind. So, firstly, I am not sure whose event this is, whether it's X-Men's, whether it's Venom's, whether it's Spider-Man's, but it's called Dark Web. So, I'm going with Spider-Man, but just reading this, and I've not read anything else, I feel like there is a big emphasis on the Goblin Queen, who is back, finally resurrected. And that was at the back of Hellions, if I remember rightly, but I'm not sure who resurrected her. So the story begins with Ileana reminding us that she was taken as a child. She went through a lot of trauma, and then she got magical powers, learned some spells, and took over hell. And then she gave it to Madeline. Now, I'm presuming that's in one of the issues that I haven't read somewhere along the lines, but it's happened. It's happened. Or maybe it's it does say check out Dark Web, so maybe it's in there that it happens. So whenever it changes hands, something seems to go wrong, etc. And what Magik is trying to say to this is that Maddie has changed. Maddie is a good person. She's been resurrected. So I guess the thing that frustrates me, Inferno was a big, she was brought in for a reason to bear Cyclops' child or children, because Jean Grey was dead. That was Sinister's aim for her. And she was manipulated because her son was stolen by the Marauders, if I remember correctly, my history. And she got mad on power, and, she slept with Havok as well, and, well, she blamed everybody for everything that happened, her marriage failing, etc., rather than taking responsibility. And even when I think she was given the opportunity, she decided to go down that whole dark route. Now, coming back was, I guess, an opportunity for Madeline not to be treated this way, is my opinion. Because, don't get me wrong, people say, oh, Scott left his wife and child, but it wasn't that simple. He left because Jean Grey was alive. That's the love of his life. But he did go back because he realized he was wrong. But he believed them to be dead. That's when he moved on. Okay, maybe if that hadn't happened, maybe Scott would have been a grown-up and made the right decisions. We don't know. We'll never know. So there's a lot of that. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. She makes a quip that this won't be the same as last time. And then we get monster cards. We get post boxes again. It's brilliant. So the X-Men are called. Magik also says, don't worry. I've got a pack that Limbo will not be attacking Krakoa at all. So I'm obviously a big fan of Gerry Duggan's X-Men, hence why I buy every single issue. And this is obviously written by Gerry, so I am all in. I think I was in. I didn't even realize Gerry had written this, but I knew it was X-Men, so I knew it was characters that I'm clearly invested in right now. Reis, if I pronounced that right, I may have pronounced that wrong, is on the art. Feces Corey Petit is on the letters. So I was expecting Claire and Cows, so I'm a little bit disappointed. But Corey, I'm sure you do a great job. And Tom Muller and Jay Bowen on design. When you see somebody in a comic, every issue, you expect it to be the same. So Forge is down on the ground, and he's created a weapon where he can turn things into vines, etc., and completely control them. There's some mannequins attacking some people. It's not comedy, it's not sexy, it's not anything remotely cool, apparently. So yeah, he takes them out as well, and he catches up with Cinch, and there is not much going on at the treehouse. So the X-Men are fine defensive modes, but they need to go see Madeline and find out what's going on. There's also a weird thing about two jackhammers in a construction site, because it's always being destroyed in New York, let's be honest. So there's probably a lot of construction. Companies probably thrive on that. But these two are called Jack and Jill. Absolutely bizarre. Jack and Jill went up the hill, they turned into jackhammers, and then, well, they were burnt and they, you know, were pining for each other. Just bizarre. There's some flying dude that Iceman knows that they need to take out. Now, the next cool thing to happen, yes, that's right. Not just yet. Not just yet. Sorry. I got a bit excited. It's the next turning off the page. So anyway, this demon comes down. He turns the amazing Christmas tree into a monster. Yeah, that's not cool. So Iceman and Firestar are busy taking it. And then we get, let me just double check. Yeah, it's there. Spider-Man and his amazing friends. So they all team up to go fight this thing, etc., this monster, and it's quite a brutal battle. This creature just, you know, he wants to live, etc., and then they're just talking in the background, and they talk about clones, and then Spider-Man's like, oh, say no more, I know all about clones. Oh, it always leaves, you know, makes the holidays a little bit more difficult with clones. So remember, this is Christmas time as well, and they've completely destroyed the Christmas tree. I also think this is quite cool. So let me just zoom in. I don't usually zoom in, but he's got a little smiley on his face, which is absolutely, I found that really bizarre. Bear in mind, I'm not currently up to speed with Spider-Man. I think I've got an expenses omnibus. I'm currently, I think, at the beginning of 2018. So, actually, I'm a way bit behind. I thought I wasn't that far behind, but actually saying that out loud, I actually realized I'm about 5 years behind on Spider-Man. So I have no idea what's going on about that. So, these guys have gone down to Limbo. Now, right, so that's, this Havok behavior is, he's gone through lots of years of trauma, and there's clearly a lot of resentment with Scott, his brother, and how Scott is, you know, he's this great X-Man, etc. But Havok has had his moments leading, oh, do I say it, the Uncanny Avengers, but he also led some great teams as well leading up to that, and the rise and fall of Shi'ar, Alex Summers in that is brilliant. So there's a lot of stable moments with this character, but however, this Havok right now is unhinged, should I say, and this obsession with Madeline Pryor. You got to remember, there was a big spell where Madeline Pryor wasn't in his life, and as far as I'm concerned, Lorna Dane is still the love of his life. Even that Nurse Annie that one time, you know, he absolutely bonkers. But he when it comes to Madeline right now in Hellions, in this, he seems to go to mush, and he's like, I'm the only, let me talk to her. She is, I'm the only one who understands her, sort of thing. And I think, gosh, do you know what I mean? It was only leading up to Inferno that it wasn't a relationship. They were just there together in each other's lives, etc., bumping Goonies, etc. And I find it bizarre that these feelings are there for him. I also find Scott, don't get me wrong, Scott's not the most emotional person. He never has been. He's always shied away from that. So you got Alex on one hand, this emotional wreck. You got Scott, who won't show any emotion to his ex-wife, rather than just trying to be a bit more understanding. You got him doing that. You got Alex overcomplicating, and then you get this great big rock flying towards them, which Scott doesn't like, because that's one of the reasons he got brain damage back in the day. So, and then these little creatures put them to sleep. So yeah, it's really crazy. I feel like there could have been more of this instability of Alex sometimes built up. Even in Hellions, he was just thrown in there like he was some demented, you know, like some of the rest of them, and they were cool characters, by the way, so I'm clear. But I just think it should have been something built up gradually, you know. Maybe it's on the back of that axis transfer, because I don't think that was ever resolved, but he's been dead a few times. Do you know what I mean? So, hey, anyway, Santa gets eaten. Quite disgustingly. There's a dog that's saved, and yeah, so the whole tree is burning. Everyone's a little bit disappointed because, well, Firestar is, she was going to bring her her father to come see it, and then you got some people saying stop helping because they're making it worse, and then he turns it into an icicle, which is bonkers because it makes it worse, and it's going to take a long time for, well, Santa Claus to, not Santa Claus, the tree to break out. So anyway, the kid remembers that it ate Santa, but they're getting booed. These guys are getting booed. Spider-Man doesn't want to work with these guys again. This was the worst team up ever, which is quite ironic considering just that history, that 70s show. It's you know, it's a great dynamic actually. Do you know what? I feel like you could actually make a show, Spider-Man and his amazing friends. They could easily do this team right now. Anyway, something's going on and Spider-Man is off, which leads us to focus on the other thing. So back to Cyclops and Alex. Firstly, the most hilarious thing in the world. He says, wait, what are you wearing? I kid you not. This is I can't stop laughing because that's just hilarious. It's like, he said, I just woke up like it. Absolutely bonkers that he is wearing this costume like this. It's brilliant. So, Scott is just focused on the mission, focused to escape, and then focused to find out what is going on and sorting out. Whereas Havok wants to have an emotional conversation about Madeline, about the past, whilst there's an invasion going on in the background. And Scott's like, you know what? You can hang out and wait for the group therapy. It's just comical in terms of these two, and I think that's why it's quite actually nice seeing them on the same team, because they have this sort of friction and weirdness going on, and it's, you know, clearly stuff that they have never worked out, and that's true. To be honest with you, that's true. In families, sometimes people don't work out things, and whenever they're together, this is the sort of stuff that happens. You know, it is a reflection on life, which is quite ironic. Although I don't know many brothers that have slept with their brother's ex-wife or whatever. But hey, and you know, Cyclops doesn't really. He's moved on. You know. And I don't think was he ever bothered by it? I'm not sure. I don't think, I mean, did they ever talk about it back in the day? I can't remember whether it was actually clear cut on those things. So the Great Summers brothers, they're knocked out quite easily by some change. So we got some bondage stuff going on there. And then she's going to have a little fun, which just adds to, I'm not going to say anything. It just adds to... And I wasn't insinuating with the chains thing. So anyway, she's going to get everything she wants, and you two can watch. So which tells me that, A, she doesn't give two flying Fs about Alex whatsoever, and Cyclops is the ex-husband that, well, perhaps stopped her. Or maybe she'll kill Jean Grey again. Not that she killed Jean Grey before, but Jean Grey would die. Yeah, it's bonkers. Oh, and it's damage control ball game. That's pretty cool. So anyway, Dark Web 1. That was actually something. I wasn't actually expecting much from this other than it being a time, but I actually enjoyed it a great deal. And Gerry still knows his characters. He's clearly got these things going on. I love the interaction with Spider-Man, Iceman, and Firestar. It worked really well. Forge coming in as a hero and he just like walked in there, shot a few mailboxes, whatever, and moved on. That was pretty awesome. And then we get to what is Madeline's endgame, and where are Jean Grey and Magik? What has she done with them? So yeah, interesting times, and I will try and wrap up my reviews of Dark Web quite swiftly, should I say. Anyway, hope you like my video. If you do, please support my channel by subscribing. Thank you to everybody that is already subscribed. We appreciate you folks a lot. Make sure you look after yourself. Very important these days. And as always, embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.